All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our TensorFlow course, and we just finished up our corrective measures module. Let's have a look at what we went over today. Now, yesterday, we recalled that we were going over our models and making them more efficient when we compile them. And today, we're going to pick up what we left off and actually go over what we finished. So, but the model in its current state already had a loss of around 30,000 as opposed to the 150,000 from our previous plots. So if we have to recompile our model, it doesn't really change much, but it does speed up the training, cutting back unnecessary processing. So we wouldn't expect to have better loss values with a TF dot data, but instead we could attain a better performance faster. So like I was saying, it just looks like we have a different model compared to the 140 or 150,000 we started with to the 30,000 we started with our new complex model. It's the same model, it's just performing a lot better and a lot faster and cutting out unnecessary processing. So yeah, we wouldn't expect to have better loss values. We did already. So now we can go ahead and view this on our bar chart. We will use this algorithm again. And this is the algorithm here we use for our bar chart. Let me move down a little bit so you can see it fully. See our YA equals list, our YP equals list model dot predict, and then it's the indications, the PLT, the width. Let me go down more. And this is the entire algorithm for our bar chart. Now notice that it is the same or similar to our previous bar chart, and that is fine for now. We are just aiming at mastering the basics of working with a data API. Though in subsequent sections, we'll look at even more interesting ways of working with this API. So I'll go ahead and show you the bar chart, even though it's not necessary. It's going to be exactly the same. The bar chart didn't really get updated. It's still just showing the same numbers as before. I just wanted to run everything to show you guys that it gets how it gets ran. Let me get this out the way. Okay, and then we did start our new module today. I didn't start doing any processing or anything. I just started the basics so we can get ahead and get everything geared up and ready for tomorrow so we can dive in. But these are all the inputs we're going to need here. We still have our TensorFlow, we have our NumPy, we have a Matplotlib, and we have a TensorFlow database we're going to be using now, and that's TFDS. We still have our caress.layers, but now we have our Convo 2D, Maxpool 2D, dense, flattening input layer, batch normalization, and then here we have our input of a binary cross entropy, and then we have accuracy, and we still have atom. So in this section, we will begin the study of malaria diagnosis. We will begin with task understanding. According to the World Health Organization, the estimated number of malaria deaths stood at about 409,000 in the year of 2019. In this section, we are going to build a machine learning model based on convolutional neural networks to diagnose malaria in a person based on cell information gotten from a microscope. In this section, we'll start with loading our data. After loading our data, we will visualize this data, process this data, build a model suited for this data, then we will train this model, and finally, we will evaluate and test our model. So that's what we left off for today. Like I said, I just wanted to get the basics started. We're going to dive in fully tomorrow, and then we're going to pick it up where we left off. Let me get and finish letting this run so I can show you the bar charts. Like I said, they're exactly the same. There's really nothing to show. I just wanted to show you guys the entire process. So yeah, everything is working smoothly, and we can go ahead and move on to our new topic or our new module, which is going to be malaria diagnosis. And just to inform you that our last module was on predicting car prices. As you see, everything went well. We got our model down from starting at about 150,000 all the way to starting around predicting prices around 30,000 for both our test model and our validation model, our test data and our validation data. So that works beautifully. So yeah, I'm just gonna run it for you one last time so we can see everything in action. And again, tomorrow we will pick up fully with the malaria diagnosis module. So this should be finishing up soon. I can open up the last few plots and we can move forward. So you can see this was our original starting 140,000 for our model loss and 200,000 for our model performance. And again, that's what I was saying earlier. The corrective measure is not like, oh, this is the bar chart here. As you can see, the bar chart isn't going to change. Like I said, we weren't really aiming to use the bar chart for our predictions. It was just showing us what we can use if we wanted to. But yeah, our model plots came out beautifully. Like I said, we got our starting predictions down from 150,000 and 200,000 to about 30,000 and 40,000. respectively. So yeah, so they should be gearing up soon. And like I'm just running this for the sake of the video. I didn't really have much to go over this morning. Like I said, we just wrapped up the test predictions or the car price predictions module. So yeah, I didn't want to dive too deep into malaria diagnosis because it seems like it is going to be extensive, and I wanted to be well prepared for that. So as you can see here, our new model loss is starting at around 30,000 here for our training data and our validation data around the same area. That's a big drop from the 150 or the 140,000 that you just saw. And then we have the model performance you saw earlier was at 200,000. Then we're down to about what 30, call that 39,000 and around 37,000 for our training data and our value data. So yeah, it's a big improvement. It's running a lot faster now. So it's not really a different model. It's the same model. It's just cutting out all that unnecessary processing. So we don't have to go from 200,000 all the way down to 40,000. It just starts right where it needs to more effectively. So yeah, that's it worked beautifully. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is the last bar chart. The bar chart hasn't changed. Like I said, the bar chart really wasn't aimed at helping us predict any prices. We were just actually helping us master how to use that data API information, how to actually maneuver through that information. But yeah, so with that being said, that is done and that is completely compiled. So the car price prediction module is done, and tomorrow we can dive fully into the malaria diagnosis. And of course, I will keep you guys posted every step of the way. But for now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.